Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. A YouTuber on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys Bros 1975.
Welcome to another comparison video. In this video I want to take a look at Crazy Cars 2 by Titus. I want to say released in 1989, a follow-up to the original Crazy Cars, which while it looked fantastic on the back of boxes and in magazines, it's pretty pants. Don't believe me, I have a gameplay of it on the Spectrum years ago and I have a gameplay of it on the MSX, which is a port of the Spectrum, and that's also pants. Why do I want to do Crazy Cars 2? Because I played this very recently on the Amstrad CPC and it looks fantastic. But I want to say it's basically a colorized port of the ZX Spectrum version. So while I did a comparison of Chase HQ Amstrad versus the ZX Spectrum, and I played, you know, Chase HQ on the Amstrad quite recently before I did that, this is kind of in that sort of, you know, category, which is they're so similar. But how similar are they? I say that Chase HQ edges out the Amstrad. For me, I am a Spectrum fanboy, but I just prefer the overall sharpness of the game. So I thought I'd take a look at this. Now, I'm sure it's got pretty decent reviews back in the day. It looks fantastic. The undulation is absolutely superb. Is it as good as Chase HQ? No, not really. It's an entirely different game. But it also has... If it has a weakness, it's its controls. They're literally when you are steering on or off. I have played the Commodore 64 version. There's no point doing a comparison of that to these two versions, although I did compare it to the Spectrum years ago, because it is shite. It's an absolute bloody stinker. The controls in that are even sharper or, you know, worse than they are on the Spectrum and the Amstrad. But this is just a bit of fun for shits and giggles and stuff like that. I do like doing comparison videos, and I'm sure people are going to point the finger at me and say, you're a fanboy, so you're going to side with the Spectrum version. Well, we don't know that yet, but if I do side with the Spectrum version, well, yeah, I am a fanboy, so, you know, what are you going to do? Anyway, there is no title screen. I find this disappointing on every version. There is no title screen. It's kind of like Cannonball Run, in case you just got to get from, is it state to state, which I've never got outside of the first one, which you'll see why when I play it. So anyway, you have accelerate, which is up, brake, which is down. Don't like it when you have to accelerate and brake like that, because it does compromise your steering, but that's every driving game on the micros pretty much. And then fire is change gear. So yeah, starting point Montrose, Colorado. Your next destination is Denver, Colorado. Figures, fire. Right, so speed, top left. That in the top right hand corner, like the flashing green with the L next to it, I'm assuming, oh, we got time beneath that. That's my old bill scanner. Right, Ferrari F40. Whoa! Change gear, which is to the right of my speed, which is digital. Now, the undulation and the road effects in this are superb. Once I let go of accelerate, I stay at the same speed. Look at that. It looks fantastic. There are no cars. Brake. Shit, everything kills you. There are no other cars other than the old bill. Change down. Oh, no, it changes down automatically, which takes a bit of getting used to. Did have to press down and fire then to change down. So, it's a looker. Is it Chase HQ Looker 3? Probably not. It's probably better than Way Le Mans, and Super Hang On, and Enduro Racer. It's just these controls are literally on or off. Ow, scheisen. We don't have time, do we? We do have time, I think. But you have no lives, is what I'm trying to say. You just keep restarting until you run out of time. Oh, now, it's so sensitive, so accelerating with up and braking with down again is just a pain in the ass. But you do have to kind of lull the old bill in and then dart around the outside like that, even though I didn't and I died. Look at the horizon effect as well. That's really, really cool. Chase down. Oh, no, forgot. It does it automatically. Oh, look, roadblock as well. You are under arrest. Game over. Well, where am I going to go? In my defense, where am I going to go? So yeah, it's a looker. It's just brutal, but like I said, your car model is superb. The undulation is utterly fantastic. Would have liked lines in the road and stuff like that, but we do get branching paths and things, so it's doing quite a lot for a Spectrum driving game. And also, I mean, the fact that if you compare this to the first game, it's night and day. It really is, because the first game is awful. But as Dean Swain said, we probably all just bought it or wanted it because Outrun was so shit. And the thing is, in magazines, on the back of boxes and stuff like that, it looks superb. I think, so it's sold for us to get this. Look at that! I think they can drive through you when you're stopped. Got it? There we go. And blow you up. Brake. So, change down. I have to press down and fire to change down. There we go. It's quite difficult to get by the old bill every time you have to. Is this a 128K version? There is no music, but the sound effect doesn't sound beepery-ish, so I don't know. Right, 327 kilometers, because I'm English. Right, then... Oh, shite. I'm not pissing around the outside very easily, am I? I would have liked, change down, less old bill, thin them out a bit, and then more opponent cars. But also, I would have liked it, you know, because the sprites are so big. See what I mean? Driving through you? It makes it... Look at him! Fuck off! It makes it damn near impossible to get around the outside. So that kind of ruins it, because it really is a looker. It really is. Like I said, it's no Chase HQ. But in the list of driving games, software sprite scalers, if you will, see how the road in the background? Yeah. Not many look as good as this. It's just if they fine-tuned it a little bit, you know, so you could actually overtake. Don't completely stop, because if you completely stop, he'll nick you. And then obviously you can only hit stuff at the side of the road a couple of times before you're toast. So yeah, and the steering is on or off. So basically, it's a brutally hard game that looks lovely. I can hear him. That's a cool effect. Oh, and also you can't just keep going Harry Clappers, because, see that undulation? Superb. You will get those roadblocks, which are damn near impossible to fly by when you're going slowly. Fuck balls. Change down. See what I mean? He's huge. He's tank-like in his proportions. So you can say, see, right, it's not Crazy Cars 1 shite. But it's like, you were so close, and then you done fucked it up. Right, see? There we go. Oh. And also, just how many old Bill are there? A lot, I would argue. How fast? 327. Gonna go back in time in a bit. There you go. Branching paths. Police car in a very narrow branching path. Look at that! Oh, Scheisenballs. He can't come this side. He was the other side. You cheating bastard. How did he fucking do that? He was on the other side. Right, and look. How am I supposed to do this? Like that, apparently. So yeah, it's a looker. It just, they came so close to making it superb. They just had to iron out the on or off controls and the fact that overtaking cars is a Herculean task. And also, I don't understand how the scanner works. Look at that! See, the way the roads move is superb. So if I like full turn and I sideswipe him, is that what stops me blowing up? I feel I don't really know what stops me blowing up. Whoa! Lucky. Oh! Like I said, so close to perfection. So close. Oh! Also, I'm playing this on a Wii remote sideways. What the fuck? Why are you made like tinsel, but sometimes you can absolutely properly ram into shit? Get a proper twattage going on. Where's my time? I don't want to look, because shit will find your face in this game very quickly. Also, some sort of indicator, maybe there is, I don't know, on how far you are away from the state lines, if that is how it works. See, how did I do that? I'm not going to complain. Oh, branching path. They're brilliant. Like the way they're done. Another branching path. All these branching paths are really spoiling us. I'm not going to go Harry... I am going Harry Clappers. I'm going to drop it to the dizzying highs of the rather more reserved just 300 kilometers an hour. Whoa. Ooh, I have no idea how I did that. But I'll take it. I'll take it. So yeah. In conclusion, it looks phenomenal. It's just fucking brutally hard. Don't... See? How are you even supposed to, like, that's just cheap kills. Did they not, like, play test it and think, that's fucking cheap, we should probably get rid of that. That makes us well cheap bastards. No, no they didn't. But yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure all the magazines, unless you know different, gave this decent reviews. I think I... What the fuck? How do I survive? See, I don't know how you survive and how you don't survive. See? There we go. And he waits. He's just... Well, he's probably wondering, why does that guy come back to life? So yeah, some sort of indication of how farther... Oh, how much farther, I should say, I have to go would be nice. But, you know. Why go all the way to making it a perfect game? My bad. There we go. See, technically, now, the Rosses are just driven through that fucking roadblock. You know, the ones I have great difficulty getting around. So yeah, if anyone knows how far you have to go before you make it to the next state, by all means let me know, because I never did it, and I never did it as a kid, and I'm pretty sure I never will, as an adult. Oh, fucking hell, no! See, where are you supposed to go? I don't know. So, basically, you do start getting slightly accustomed to the sensitivity of the controls, but its brutal difficulty never changes. So yeah, I think you've got a good feeling for what it's like on the ZX Spectrum. Bollocks. No, it's not bollocks, it's just hard. Let's have a look at the Amstrad CPC version. So here we go, Crazy Cars 2 on the Amstrad CPC. It's essentially a carbon copy of the ZX Spectrum version, because look, the title screen's exactly the same, there is no start screen for the game, you literally start on basically, here's where you are, make it to the next, well, it's not the next state, because we're still going to be in Colorado, but you know what I mean. Also, I'm running this on my Super Console X, and it does show a picture of the box art, and I do remember the advert for it in the magazines back in the day, because I think we had a pirate copy, allegedly, and it has a Ferrari F40 in the middle of the screen, you know, chucking on its anchors massively, and on either side of the car, on the side of the roads, all banged up and burnt out, are the cars from the first game. So is that a nod to the fact that, look, it's the cars from the first game, and the fact that they're all burnt out and banged up because it knows the first game's shit? I don't know. Let's get into it. Fire. Right, so everything is the same. Speed top left to the right of that. Gears, which you do like that. Obviously we've got colour. It's chunkier than the Spectrum version, so I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's mode 0. I'm playing this on the worst pad in the world, which doesn't help, but I am going to say, I mean, the colour is absolutely fantastic, but the definition is not quite obviously up there with the Spectrum, which is what I would expect, I was expecting to be fair, it's the same with Chase HQ, from Mode 0, but the actual sort of everything else, it's just like a colorized, slightly more chunky version of the ZX Spectrum version, but plays exactly the same. Are the enemy cars slightly smaller? Is there more room for me to make it through the gaps? Don't know. Too early to say, but it goes. And what a difference the colour does make. It really does. Right, and then like that. I want to say, that's because obviously the controls are still on or off, and this D-pad is nowhere near as forgiving as the D-pad on a Wii remote. Who knew? Right. So that's still the same old Bill car then, isn't it? Really need to stop saying in them. Get on this side of the road, and then this side and accelerate. Oh! Oh yeah, I remember that. It's when the road breaks into the branching paths, somehow, amazingly, it gives you less room on here. Down and fire. Yeah. So yeah. It's basically a colorized version of the Spectrum, which seems a slightly more forgiving. Okay, we're going to keep our speed round about here, because look at this. It's the trench run from Star Wars. That's because, I don't know if you saw that, but I jutted to the right. Look at that, the road effects though are superb. Especially that there. I mean, alright, it takes 4 hours for it to reset, but... No opponent cars, just good old-fashioned old Bill cars. I mean, I know that's the sort of game it is, but like I said on the Spectrum version, I would have liked some, you know, civvies. On the Amiga and the Atari ST, all the telegraph poles are wired together, much like real telegraph poles. Can't run those versions, whether I run them on this or I run them on the A500 Mini. All the sprites are compromised and go all wiggly and fuzz out and shit, which is a shame because I'd love show you. Hey, you don't think you can spin on the Spectrum, can you? I'd love to show you what the 16-bit versions look like. Look at this! Off the road shenanigans. That might be just because I never drove that badly on the Spectrum version. Also, it looked like he was flying then. Did you see that? You were under arrest. Game over. So I guess that last run I had on the Spectrum game, I got reasonably far. Also, am I right in thinking, because it didn't happen there, that the spawning of all the old Bill was just completely random? Probably not. It feels that way, but it probably can't be. That's a bit too advanced for a game from 1989 on 64K of memory. That's a lifesaver that you can hold it. Hey, did he... It's just as brutally hard as the Spectrum version, but that's because it's just as brutally sensitive as the Spectrum version. You literally have on or off instead of left or right, as you can see. Because my car looks like it's actually having a seizure. Right, thank you. But yeah, he gets stuck behind his own roadblock then. So, the colour does make a massive difference. But I'm going to say it right now. I prefer... It's kind of almost exactly the same as what I said about Chase HQ. I prefer the sharpness of this version, but the colour does make a massive difference. But it suffers, from all exact same problems as the Spectrum version. That it's just your controls are just brutal. Change down to my new plan. Yeah, how did you do that? Casper the friendly fucking old Bill. Unless you went around the outside like me. You know, could happen. See, what do you... Right, I was trying to change down. See, I went too slow. So, you know when I said, is it slightly more forgiving than the ZX Spectrum version? No. It's not. It's still just as difficult to get around. In fact, obviously, as I said, when you get the branches in the road, it's tiny on this. Again, could have been absolutely perfect instead of a looker that's just unbelievably frustrating. Those roadblocks, too hard to get by. Old Bill, too hard to get by. When the road's narrow, with these on or off controls, and it's exactly the same on keys. I can confirm that because I have played both of these on keys, but yeah, it's still literally on or off. So I just noticed we don't have music as well, which is a shame. They're both even on that front. But yeah, look at it. I mean, look at it. Well, look at it, Mark. Look at it. It really does make me pensive every time I've got to try and go around one, because you just know that every single time you get up to one, you know that there's a rather large percentage that you're not going to make it. Oof. And other words to that effect. Noises, grunts. I don't know. Guffaws, if you will. It always feels like it's night time when that happens, when the horizon comes down to you. It's a nice touch. There we go. 2 for 2. Oh, the ambassador, he's really spoiling us, points to the quote. Yeah, take the wide one. Every time. Like there. I know on the Amiga, also on the Amiga, isn't it called F40 Pursuit Simulator or something in America? And I know it does give you a map at the start, when you literally start your first, after the start screen. And you could argue why it's 16-bit, but they play exactly the same. So could they not have done this here? Is some indication of how far you've got to go? Is he going to kill me? Is he going to kill me? No, he's not interested. I'm dead, so he's just driving away. To protect and serve my arse. Or to protect and serve my arse. Think about it. Also, at least the undulation on this is such in a way that you do know what's coming even when you go up and down a hill. It's not brutal like other games that I've played recently where you could argue it's not fair. Go that way. See, it's just so hit or miss. Like, what are you supposed to do there? You should just end the game and not fucking chuck me into a situation where I've no fucking Scooby of getting out of it. This game is frustrating. This game is very frustrating. Doesn't mean I can't compare them. Also, I'm going to argue, well, this one isn't more difficult because obviously I did get further on the spectrum, but ultimately achieved nothing anyway because it gives you no indication of how far you are into, I don't know, the state or whatever it is you're racing. But I clearly got further on it than I did on this version. That's a cool effect though, when it does that, when it goes flying by. Or a flyby, if you will. It's going to kill me? And of course it's a Ferrari F40 because everyone had hard-ons for Ferrari F40s back then, but then why not? Still my favourite Ferrari, and I know it's weird when people say, well, how have you got a favourite Ferrari? It's a car that you'll never own. Because why not? Or maybe don't know. Shit. Maybe this is why I shouldn't have one, because I drive like this in my virtual Ferrari. He's certainly a better car model than Turbo Outrun. But then I would say that Turbo Outrun, while the game looks nowhere near as good as this, any of the 8-bit versions comparably, or comparatively I should say, they do drive better than this, but this looks way better. But yeah, basically, it's exactly the same in all control mannerisms, apart from the branching paths seem to be smaller. Ooh! But it's just as frustrating, and if only you could tweak the controls, but then having said that, there's still no room on the road. I mean, obviously you can get by the roadblocks and, the police cars, but it really does feel like it's out of your hands, hit or miss. Luck, basically, lady luck, each time you were there. Where do you go? I should have gone the other way, but... Oh, see what I mean? That made it look comparatively easy, but it's not. Change down, and of course he can Casper the Friendly Ghost through the fucking roadblock. Oh, down, there you go. But yeah, I'm gonna call exactly the same. They're both exactly the same, they're both brutally hard. They suffer from all the same problems, but when it comes to looks, again, call me a Spectrum fanboy, I just prefer the sharpness of the ZX Spectrum version, but as I said for Chase HQ, It's not night and day. It's not night and day. But Titus, if you just gave us some controls we could have fucking worked with, this could have been all kinds of win. Instead, you made a looker that ultimately frustrates you because it's not a player. Well, there you go. 72 miles an hour and you just limp by the old bill. Wonder if that works in real life. I'll give it a go and I'll let you know. So yeah. Anyway, it's always a lovely thing, especially if you played either of these versions back in the day. If you have the Commodore 60 version, don't care. Because as flawed as both these are, that version is just utterly fucking terrible. That makes these things look like they control like fucking silk. Balls. So yeah, cool on the Spectrum version, but it's not night and day. It's just because I like that crispy clear goodness in my sprites. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.